There we go, Doc. Hello and welcome, everybody. So we're here, Kitty and Parris. We are live. We're back at the Caliente Girls Studio Dance Radio. Yes,
everyone.
I miss you, girls, so much.
And I love your hair.
Oh, really?
I am literally going to say that like probably like 4 o'clock this morning.
Oh.
Like I'm just there. Like I'm just going to wake up like I love that hair.
Thank you.
I can't remember what it was like last
I cut
time.
off like this much, really.
Was it?
It was a sacrifice for my new project, Eat Killer Kitty. But that's another story.
Your hair, you put the hair you put it in the ground and grow some hair tree.
Ooh.
It's called a bush.
No.
Okay, so let's go.
Well, today we have a very special guest since we're back. We wanted to make it really special. And we have a gentleman who's been through life, been through it all, and
Survivor.
is here to change the world. And we're all going to do it together with him. And we have Terry
Yes.
Metsch.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Terry Metsch, and I just want to express my gratitude to you guys for having me.
I love that. I love that already.
Yeah.
Humble rocks.
Humble's the path to success.
Humble's the new boast.
But it took me a while to figure that out, you know. But a little bit about me in a nutshell.
Please.
32 years old.
Very young.
Not a rock star, not an artist. But I'm in the entertainment industry. It kind of fell into my lap, kind of by the grace of God.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Born and raised in San Diego, California, to a semi-privileged white Jewish family. And I only say that because it's part of the path to what let me get here. I have been in cannabis most of my life, even preteen, you know, right? And you know, it sent me down kind of an interesting path to where I kind of grew up in the hood in a lot of ways. And at 18, I was arrested.
No.
Yeah. You know, charged as an adult, looking at, you know, like 90 years in prison. So,
wow.
Yeah.
One woman from man goes, okay, what did he do? But it's totally up to you
He
to
said
tell
he was
us.
in the cannabis.
Yeah, so I was
90 years for
selling. Well, I was.
Hopefully
They charged me as an adult. I stopped before I became an adult, but there was an undercover cop planted that was Latina, and I've always had an affinity towards Latinas.
Don't we all?
And you know, but I kind of I figured it out pretty quick when I made a transaction, and then I did two subsequent.
You were possibly getting 90 years?
Yeah, and now it's an essential business, right?
Because when you say 90 years, I think of like I think of a violent type of crime.
Well, at that time, maybe
that's
it
just
was
saying
still,
that
it's illegal, let alone you're a minor in high school.
You know, so, and thank God that I had stopped prior to becoming an adult.
Yes,
but they waited for me and their friends to become adults, charged us. It was
crazy.
Yeah, and then they got like 16 minors. But that's really when I kind of realized, like, gosh, I'm pretty lucky. You know, my family really stepped up. People that had been in my life in the recovery community. I'm a recovering alcoholic. And
How is it?
Go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, so I'm also part of the recovery community. You know, so I don't drink, and I'm not
right.
I'm not a big fan of save my life more than once. You know, and I'm a spiritual person. You know, and I basically beat my case because of my family, and I was a poster child at school, except for this thing that I knew that cannabis was going to be really big.
Yeah,
and I was just kind of it was always been a medicine in my life. And so
what year is this?
It was 2007.
Was it in California?
Yeah, San Diego. You can Google
because cannabis has such a whole. Look at it different now,
right?
But then it was still. But there's a whole other Gandra, and they waited till he was 18 to get him good. Gosh.
And they got me.
But that was just one thing that set you off into a whole other direction.
Right.
Let's talk about that.
So
after, he got off. He didn't go 90.
I got off. I ended up going to a private charter school where I was the commencement speaker. When I graduated, I got hired on the spot, basically.
You did get off. Okay.
Yeah. Got hired right away by a retired attorney, worked as basically legal assistant / uncertified paralegal, saved up some money, and then took off to Argentina at 19 for a study abroad. Right. And that's where I met my estranged wife. We've been going through a divorce for a number of years. I got married at 21. She's like 7 years my senior. Kind of on a whim.
Juicy.
But pretty much right after is when like the domestic violence started.
She beat you up?
Yeah, you've got no idea.
Insane. And it does happen to guys, and too, I'm just like, it's okay.
This is such an important issue because so many people believe, and I'm all for. I'm a woman, okay, so I get it. But I've also stuck by my father, who I saw go through, and other fathers, and it really crushed me. So to hear Terry's story, which he's going to continue right now, is just remarkable. So let's continue.
So, that began, and it was progressive, and it got worse. And divorce in my family was part of my early childhood. I did not want to be my dad. I wanted to fix my marriage.
Was there domestic violence in your background? When you were growing up?
No, not like what was going on. So that was completely new. It was.
I'm over and I don't even know who she is.
No, but here's the thing. I have absolute love for her, and I'm grateful.
We're gonna forgive her, but just get her.
Yeah, well, she's still the mother of my child, and
right.
Interestingly enough, the last couple of months we've made major strides in reconciling. She's gotten a lot of help. I've gotten a lot of help.
She's got help good.
Yeah, and she's really stepping up as a mom, and which is great.
And she's not touching the child.
No, she just likes to.
Why am I so over it?
She liked to. I was the punching bag, but I'm grateful for it because it kind of made me realize a lot of things about myself and about life and marriage and.
What was the first time?
The day after we got married.
Okay.
Oh my goodness!
You
hear about that with women. You hear about it's called the moonlight. The honeymoon is.
And of
over.
course, you're a big guy, so you could have struck back, but that was nothing.
No.
And nothing
he
needs to be
that way. Some men just
or
don't get that.
when we use the word struck by, I could have fought physically, like kept her away.
Sure,
but it's one of those things where
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Right.
But it was.
And the reason I said that is set up to ask so people hear this and they understand why people make decisions.
Sure. And for me, it took me a number of years of trying to leave her and coming back, and the just a cycle of domestic violence. Something happens, you apologize. It's like the honeymoon phase, and then things pop off
again. The whole cycle.
Everybody listening to this first time, please run. Don't even ask yourself why.
No, yeah, definitely. But get out. And there's tons of resources out there, and I've had to use them, and I'm grateful for them. And that's kind of how I got here. I was actually in a domestic violence shelter for a few reasons. Last in October or September through mid-October, and that's when I got my start into the entertainment industry. Because a woman reached out to me in a spirituality group on Facebook and basically said she knew who I was and she remembered me like from a past life. Right?
Wow.
Right? Here we go.
I know, but that's just strange to hear random like that.
For sure. And
it works.
Yeah, and then she put me through like this
shake it
kind of gauntlet, and like, did I go over her head on some things? I was like, I have no idea who you are. She's I'm kind of famous. And I was, that's cool. Well, her name's Elise Layback. She's originally from San Diego. She's won a Hollywood Music Award. She's currently in Egypt. She's won a bunch of humanitarian awards. She actually moved to Egypt in 2016 during the Arab Spring to record albums as a solo artist, and obviously did very well.
I love it.
Yeah,
the whole story's turned okay, good.
And so we became friends when I was going through probably the hardest transitional period of my life. And she saw me and what I was capable of, and then the whole spirituality thing, and we really hit it off. And she asked me to be her manager, and I had never managed an artist before, right? And I'm like, cool, I'm down. Let's go down the rabbit hole and see where this goes, right? And fast forward, some other things happen. I'm in Ocean Beach, San Diego, which is like my real home. It's really where I found myself and really the reason why I'm here. I meet somebody named Steve Jones, who's a Bob Marley impersonator and runs the Cannabis Wellness Party. And I meet him on 11/11 at like 11:11 p.m. And I didn't really know what that means, but I do now in the whole spirituality thing. And he sees me and he's like, "You're the guy." Right? Again, like
some matrix.
Exactly. Something weird's going on in my life.
In the spoon.
Right? I'm trying, and I still can't walk on water yet. So,
give it time.
Right? Progress, not perfection. And then Steve decided to introduce me to somebody named Angel Moon, who's also in the entertainment industry, and she runs a company called Shell and Bomb Productions, and we got a lot of stuff going on. And this is where it's going to get really exciting.
They already have.
Right? Like,
for hours.
Buckle up. So Angel Moon puts me in contact with Cleve, the Harmony God, who happens to be the oldest nephew of Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh, I've heard that, man.
Oh, right? Bone Thugs and Harmony, and Cleve, the Harmony God, Busy Bone's nephew, and like the leader of Bloodline Harmony. Initially, it was Marjay wanted to see if I can help with some financing on a Eazy-E film. And I was like, yeah,
random things.
Right? These random things, like really quick.
That's the industry for you.
Right? It just kind of was falling into my lap in a pivotal moment in my life. And I'm pretty much a yes kind of guy, yes or be more patient. Right? That's kind of what I've tried to embody in the way I live my life. So I set up a meeting with Angel Moon and Cleve, the Harmony God. I go, we meet, and Cleve says, basically right away, "I want you to be my manager."
I thought you should be a manager.
Right? And obviously, Cleve, the Harmony God, he's probably he's my brother at this point. I mean, it's incredible everything that I've been through. And to kind of put out into the universe that I need to find my soul family, and
soul family,
right?
Like the soul plane, but but people with legs.
I listen to the super egos of people in my life that maybe I shouldn't have, And when I found my voice and put things out into the universe, it responded really quickly. So for Cleve to come into my life and basically welcome me into his family and him into mine.
It's breaking.
Right?
That break.
Yeah, and it's amazing, and with Kitty too, she came into my life and just
you'll do that.
All these godsends, all these
new hair.
So and for me growing up, my first CDs in hip hop after Crisscross, because that was the first one my stepmom would let me get. Right, was Bone Thugs and Harmony and Tupac. I mean, I got really into hip hop and rap, and it was instrumental into who I was, because obviously when I started selling weed in middle school, it was.
I don't think
right. I mean, it was being talked about. It was cool, it's and I got bullied as a kid. I had all these other health problems, and so
I just love a bit. I mean, when that whole where you start with the domestic, I'm hearing a happy ending, so I'm really glad that
because everything in my life has never been better. Period. And the amount of gratitude that I have just waking up today. Lost a lot of friends during the pandemic. COVID and not related. Family members have passed from health issues. So I kind of have I'm kind of on this life and death errand to make wonderful things happen, not just in my life, but in the lives of people around me. And so the happy ending that I'm trying to get to, and thank you for letting me pontificate and try and.
I love it. Yeah, I love that.
So
go anywhere, go all the way.
But basically, now I'm working with Cleve the Harmony God. Bloodline, Angel Moon. We got
as a manager or
as his
because I keep on thinking you as an artist for some reason.
No. Well, life is art,
So there.
You know.
Or maybe you could be an artist.
I don't know.
Up your head.
Right? Maybe.
If you so
But now we got big projects going on. We're doing a Power Ranger short film, and
so random.
But it's amazing.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I was telling Kitty, I've had 2.
I'm sorry.
Maybe even 3. I believe I want to say I did extra work. I'm not sure, but I definitely know not one of the Power Rangers. Who when did they go off the air? Because they hadn't been off the air long.
Well, there's different versions. I thought there was
the
original ones like in the 90s.
The last one, because I knew was like I was telling you, one of the guys modeled for me, and I know that he was. It wasn't maybe it was under 5 years ago because I was at one of the conventions and the Power Rangers were running around like and maybe they still did conventions afterwards and they were off the air. I don't know, but I know they kept him busy, kept his coins for him. So I wasn't even sure how long it's been off the air.
You'd have to ask my son that one.
I love it. Okay, great.
Right. But yeah, so we got a Power Ranger short film that we're doing. Baby G's helping us with that, and I think he'll be on later tonight. And just all these incredible, talented artists and entertainers have come into my life. And so for me to go from a domestic violence shelter to working with some of the best artists in the world, it's insane. It makes zero sense, you know.
It may be it is.
But if you understand, quantum physics, which I'm really into, my math isn't that great. Nothing is random, right?
When you were in that situation, was it that okay? When you were growing up, what was your desire to do in the world?
So it's interesting.
I'm trying to figure out how. Because sometimes we put that we manifest things.
Okay, so when I was 5 years old, and this is one of the most vivid memories I have, I was with my mom, who's my biggest influence in my life. And we're driving, and I'm holding her hand, and she's telling me what philanthropy is and what a philanthropist does and what mitzvahs are in Judaism. And I'm the oldest boy in my family. I'm 5 kids, 4 younger sisters, and I wanted a bunch of brothers. So I said I wanted to be a philanthropist someday and open up like a big ranch for kids that don't have brothers. So, because I wanted a bunch of little brothers to play with, because I was tired of doing the doll thing. And
we don't have to do the doll thing.
Right. Well, I wanted to play action figures, and, cops and robbers, and it was just, it's a lot, being the older brother in my family with 4 wonderful younger sisters, and a mom and a stepmom. There's a lot of estrogen in the house, which isn't a bad thing. It's definitely helped me now in life understand how to treat women.
Exactly. And it also can explain a lot how you were dealing with your situation, because you had sisters and you saw how they get, and you knew, or maybe just being trained. And some people just don't hit back no matter what they're. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand that either. So, but bring it back to real quick. I wanted to say one of the things that brought me, caught my attention, besides the first night we met at an open mic night. And I was doing some internet research on you. You know how someone
the internet's for.
If you give me your name, I'm like sniffing you out. But I saw this on one of your Instagrams, how you donated your comic book collection to Cleve and his whole project for water for children.
Well, we're doing that together. I've been an avid Marvel fan for a long time, and it hasn't been donated yet. It's been pledged, so we're working out the logistics for the charity auction. But there's this phenomenal charity called Charity Water. It's out of New York.
Charity Water,
right?
Drink.
Keep it simple, And they've got the water problem figured out. And I meditate a lot. It's a big part of my life. And I was meditating, and I saw their 19-minute YouTube ad months back. No, seriously, it's the
19 minutes not that long
for a YouTube ad. I mean, it was.
Well, now YouTube ads are like
crazy. It's getting crazier and crazier. But I was so moved by that, and I wanted to be a part of it. And when I was meditating, I realized I have all these comic books, and they're just sitting collecting dust. And it's pretty extensive. A lot of Stan Lee signed memorabilia. A lot of it's a lot. And Charity Water has this thing where people pledge their birthday or their gifts, or do something on their birthday to raise money for their efforts. And that's when I decided, instead of giving money or trying to raise money, which easy come, easy go, I want to kind of set an example and let go of some worldly things, which paradoxically kind of makes you more worldly, connects you more. And the things that has been most near and dear to me has been my comic book collection.
That's what blew me away. That is what blew me away. Nobody lets, no one, I mean, my first husband was totally into comics, but you could not touch him. You could not look at them. Don't even think about it. So when I saw that, I was like, huh? Here's somebody. And I know he's got a collection. He don't look like he just got one or two.
No, it's pretty extensive. So
that amazed me. So that, to me, I knew how much it took out.
Which Marvel stars?
Oh, all of them. I mean, Stan Lee was such a genius and such a pioneer in just the creative department. That
X-Men, of course.
Oh, of course. X-Men, Spider-Man. I mean,
so funny. I was more. I was bored. I was very DC, but X-Men had me. But
yeah, and the symbolism behind what Stan Lee wanted, I think, to put forth through Marvel and superheroes, and obviously with Disney buying out, Marvel Studios. Marvel's not going anywhere anytime soon. I think it's important for in today's society for real life superheroes to step up, and to start doing things to make this world a little bit easier and better for everybody, not just certain people. Right. So hopefully, and I just got my letter from the IRS that my nonprofit Spherical Economics Inc. I can now operate that as a full 501(c)(3).
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Serious. It's serious.
It's serious. It's serious stuff.
It's
because that's my whole trip now in life is doing good for nothing. Really. People.
It's for something, but
what he means, he doesn't get paid. It goes back to
and that's the trip, right? And I learned that in recovery.
Yes.
If the most selfless thing that I can do is be of service to other people, and that's like the best high I'm ever going to get in my life, sign me up. It's right. So I'm donating or setting up the logistics now through like my nonprofit and finding people to help this happen because it's a lot. And more stuff keeps happening in my life, getting into the entertainment industry, a lot of things that have to happen, is that we're going to auction off this huge collection, donate it to Charity Water, and then they're going to go bring water to kids and people in Africa that need it. Because what good are toys or anything, or comic books for that if there's kids that are dying because they don't have access to clean water?
Yeah, it's a remarkable charity. I saw it, and the whole story is just so touching. So I could see.
And that's just the start of what my nonprofit's about. And I think that in talking with Cleve and other entertainers and people around the world, we need a new modality of economics in this country and worldwide if we want to attack some of the big issues at hand. Okay. And I'm here to bring that change, one person at a time, and then collectively as a whole. And, when I was in the DV shelter and I put it out there in the universe that I needed certain things to line up to make it happen, well, here I am. And, I'm working with some of the most talented artists and kindest souls I've ever met in my life, my soul family. And, we got a lot of big projects in the works. Next week, Cleve the Harmony God and Royal Sky will be doing a show virtually in Moreno Valley. You can get more information on Instagram at the Harmony God, and it's just like all these wonderful things that are lining up.
And you've got so many questions going in my head, and this is where it's. What was the final straw with the domestic thing? What was the last thing you're like, I got to get out of this?
When my kid really started to suffer, and I knew that he was
because he will watch this happen to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wasn't willing to put a blameless, innocent child through anything like that. And there was even stuff like when I was in the DV shelter where, it's pandemic. I'm not there because I want to be, but because I need to be. I have a house. I live somewhere, right? And I had to tell the cops. They wanted to like boot me on like day 28, even though like it wasn't still safe for me to go home because of whatever was going on. And they called the sheriffs on me and my kid, and they wanted us to go be homeless or go stay at like because our time was up.
Oh, right.
And in the nonprofit world, you have the more people you turn through stuff, you get funding.
Okay.
And even in the people have salaries and they have overhead.
So she was still beating.
Well, it was more violations of a criminal protective order and some other stuff that I don't really want to talk about.
And the reason it's always interesting to me, and I hope, and I just put this out there also, that I hope that you recognize the signs in your future relationships.
Absolutely.
Because it's interesting a lot of times because people are like, oh, what made you stay, or why did you? They act as if it's like, oh, I had no choice. It's interesting what strength comes from inside,
right?
And it's something it's so interesting a lot of times people don't recognize or understand that reason why people don't choose, but remain in situations. And it has nothing to do with, oh, well, you're not strong enough, or you didn't do right, or the blame should go to you. Sure. And I kind of, so it's one of those things where it's always good to hear how the path you mentally get out of it. And this is just an example. It can be domestic violence. It can be, I wanted to conquer this dream, and I, for whatever reason, keep staying in the situation, talking about something I want to do. So it's an example of that. So it's one of those things where I was just asking, and I applaud you, and I encourage you to keep whatever that energy, because I just see, and it is what it is. So many people, they get right back into situations.
Sure. And
they don't even mean to. They don't mean to. So a lot of times I like to bring attention to, make sure you recognize that strength that made you walk out, and celebrate it, and give yourself a pat on the back and say, I will not do it again. Amen. To yourself and to the other person. Because if that doesn't happen, people, like I said, people get right back in it again, and like, how did I get here? So that's that. I just like to sometimes take time to
Why? And I couldn't leave right away. It was a back and forth thing, and then I enough was enough at a certain point. And
I'm glad.
But beautifully said. I couldn't agree with you more.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's remarkable, and we're so blessed to have Terry. Hearing Terry's story really meant a lot to me, because I lost my father to COVID, and my father, I always was daddy's girl and stuck by him. And, during the women's rights movement, a lot of the men got the back seat, and I saw that firsthand with my dad, but my dad was gracious, but, so like, I've always been on the side, my mom was extreme feminist. So to hear men, when I went through my last divorce, and it was like, narcissist relationship. And then I told Terry, you're the second man I've ever met who's told me that they had a narcissist, sociopath, partner, or been abused and had to use a system. And it's just it touched me so much, because I just felt so connected, like standing up for my dad. It doesn't end, even though he's not here.
Right.
So thank you, and your story means a lot, and I really want people to hear that.
Yeah, and that's why I allow myself to be vulnerable. It's not to change people's minds about certain things; it's to let other people know that they're not alone.
Yeah.
And so it's just we're not alone.
Right. Well, tell us about all the projects you have coming up.
So we got a show next week, virtual, with Cleve the Harmony God, Angel Moon, Royal Sky, maybe some other surprises in the works.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Power Rangers short film.
And what perspective of the Power Rangers will you tackle?
So I'm actually going to be playing Alpha 7 in the movie, which is kind of a cool role. He's like the brainiac kind of artificial intelligence kind of guy that helps the Rangers out and stuff.
So, okay, you say I want to say documentary. What did you say? It's a film about them.
No, it's a fan short film.
Got you. Okay.
So it's a fun project. It's a passion project for us.
Okay.
And then we're also working on getting some financing for an Easy E film called Easy Does It.
Great name.
Right, and then on top of that, with Baby G, we have a documentary about Big Psych, who's from Outlaws and the whole Tupac crew, and so it's just really exciting to be a part of all of this, and everything that I'm doing is basically going to support my nonprofit. And I think that's the promise that I made to the universe, and I'm here to stay true to that promise. And I'm just excited about all the projects, so Cleave the Harmony God, all of his projects, the stuff I got going on with Baby G, and some other ones that
can't talk about.
Yeah, maybe we'll come back next time with Cleave, and some other people, and they can talk more in depth about their projects and some other things that we've got going on, because it's going to be a great 2021, much better than 2020.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then some.
Wonderful. Well, we'll conclude that right now, but we want to thank you so much. Where can people find you on Instagram or social media?
So I'm on Instagram at Terry Metsch, TERRY METSCH. And
your other one, the economic.
Oh, and at Spherical Economics on Instagram.
Also, we'll have them up at Call Kitty and at Parris Harris. I'll have a link, and we'll also have it in the YouTube the information there as well. We'll update it for everybody. So.
Perfect.
Well, thank you so much for having me here.
Yes, thank you so much for coming to Parris and Kitty Show.
Woo!
There's her.
Okay. That was like perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yo, bro.
Oh my God, it's so good.
That's the first interview I've ever done.
Here?
Was it?
Yeah.
And it's so funny in such a short period of time to go so far.
Yeah, I feel like
in your whole story.
Well, I'm still coming out of the fucking rabbit hole with it,
You still I mean, that's your teacher was like probably.
So she's vacuuming, so that was perfect timing.
Okay, pal.
She's gonna be here in 5 minutes, but if you want, in the meantime, you can sit here and he can sit there. You could sit there and
and I can sit wherever.
No, you could another interview, and I'll be ready to get Royal here.
Okay.
Do you want to take a water break or something?
Yeah,
okay.
Was that okay?
Yeah,
was it? Did it come back around? All right.
Just let you know, I will take some photos.
Right. I was trying to tee it up. She kind of wanted me to talk about me or whatever. And that was perfect.
Yeah. Everybody needs an introduction, and
Because I've never been out there,
I'm doing all my life right now.
Okay.
Couldn't have been here with
We're going to take a 5-minute break. Did anyone want to go downstairs?
I'm good.
I'm going to go get Phoenix.
No, real talk, that was okay.
Yeah. No, solid, man.
All right. I mean, I know some weird shit to put out there in the ether, but it is what it is,
Yeah.
If you Google my shit, it'll be there. So I take away the leverage now.
It's a little taste, you don't want more. I'd say more promotion, things. The one thing that you do a lot of things well, but one thing that as you do that more, you can do it. When he was asking you about how the Power Rangers and how it went like that, it's like you'd have to ask my son about that. He didn't do many redirects and for some of that stuff. Because that one was right on, because it could have gone in different tangents.
All right. Yeah, it's just like when she said she wanted me to start
have
talking
a
about
lighter?
that. I get it. Still going through it, baby.
Does anyone have a lighter?
Yeah.
Lighter? Yeah.
I have one in the car. Yeah, I got one.
I had a black one, but it's...
Should we take a smoke break?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm going to do right now. That's why you guys want to come.
Does he Parris smoke cigarettes as well?
No. Okay. I have the key.
Do they have water though?
Oh, you know what? I left my check over.
Good job. Good job.
Are you sure?
How do you feel? So they took up our number of we can start up with her right now. Okay. Yeah, oh, sorry. Our parents is your
You're a rock star. Doing it, rocker. You're being you.
right.
There you go. Bam. This is slow rocker. Chilling.
Very much so. Okay, so go ahead and sit here. Well, we're gonna just do this because those guys, if they come,
Hey, can I smoke my dang vape in here?
not really,
No.
but
In theory.
you saw how I had to click everything.
Yeah.
If they come, you have to go get them. You
Okay.
don't need a key to
Gotcha.
go down, but you need one. And we're on the 4th floor.
4th floor.
Yes.
Gotcha.
You go to the back end, and then you need a key to open the gate, and then the key to, you saw. Okay.
Gotcha.
So,
I think I figured it out.
you want to switch seats this time? You be on this side, and I sit on the side.
Yeah, all good,
Okay.
rocker.
I was gonna say, Kitty, if I could
Yes.
possibly like set up the tripod and like record
Yes.
it with my phone. Too.
Yes. Yes.
Or is there a way we can get this on like footage where I could post it?
Yes. Also, Travis is here. He can
Yes,
record
yes.
it. Okay, he can
Yeah.
record it.
I just don't know if my phone has storage. My phone might be tripping.
I'll do it for you.
Let me delete some here. I'm gonna delete some apps.
I'll do it.
Cause my phone.
No worries. Okay, let me get this set up.
Mine are good. I got you. You can do like 50 seconds or something every minute.
I think I was gonna record like the whole thing.